Oke. Jadi selamat datang di Voicepal edisi bulan Juni. Kita tahu bahwa bulan Mei adalah bulan yang sejuta umat sedang sibuk-sibuknya. Ada Lebaran, ada Ramadan, ada reuni habis Lebaran. Banyak. Jadi sampai kita mundurkan meeting kita sampai 1 minggu ya. Jadi nggak apa-apa. Yang penting kita dapat diskusi yang bermanfaat dan berkualitas. Wait, why do I say it in bahasa? Wait, all of a sudden. Okay, sorry. All right. So thank you everyone. Last month has been really busy. So we had to postpone our meeting for 1 week. But it's okay. Only 4 of us here. But I'm pretty sure we will get a quality discussion. Okay. So before we start, Jerry, can you show your no, I didn't. Okay, Jerry, can you show your cam? Or
Yes,
possible?
Sure. Wait.
Sure. Okay, everyone show your book first, and then after that we will. So it's a teaser. So we can show our book. So it's teaser. I'm
Wait ya.
reading about Da Vinci. Show your book, Jerry.
Ya.
And
Wait. Agak hang ini komputernya.
I got the book from public library in Fairfax Public Library, and it was written few days ago. And I don't have the cover, the book
Itu
cover.
aja nggak apa-apa. Itu aja nggak. Jer, ayo Jer.
I read
Everyone is wearing. Aku doang yang konvensional. I have itu Kindle juga. I borrowed from Ratu. Okay, one.
Wait. Oh my God. Yeah, just erase this.
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
that's enough.
Kali dia belum. Yes, got it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me paste it first. Okay, so psychology of money, economy, right? And then Jerry is about confidence, yes. And then Kak Lydia is about what?
A novel, The Wives by Tarrant Fisher.
Okay. Is it feminist novel?
Yes.
Yes, I have heard that novel before, and I'm talking about the life of Leonardo Da Vinci, but this is for children. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Ferindra. Okay, I will put the questions, share it. Wait, give me a second. Question. Okay. Okay, so this is, I will put it on the screen, but I will also put it on the chat box. Okay. Tell us about the book you want to discuss. What's the best key lessons from it? Is there anything you don't like about the book? And what's your rating out of 5 stars? I will ask from the audience. After that, what do you want to read next?
Okay, so I have to answer 5 questions at once.
Yes, let's do it at once. But post it in chat box as well. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Now you can start.
Okay. Hi everyone. So for April, I guess May. Okay, for May, I was reading a book by Morgan Housel. Its title is The Psychology of Money. So yeah, from the title we can see that it's a book about finance, economics, and also management, and also a little bit of psychology itself. And what's the best key lesson? Okay, let me tell you several things. I will share you first about who should read this book. I think after reading from cover to cover, this book has 20 chapters, and I thought after reading this all chapter, everybody should read the book. I mean, as early as possible. Yeah, you know, the early, I mean, how can I say, mature enough to manage their money even before they have their own income, so they could be prepared for that. I will say that maybe starting from college or the end year of your university, you have to realize the importance of financial management. And then what's the best key lesson that I have from this book? Just like what I've mentioned on the voice notes, I get several key lessons. The first chapter on this book quite hit me enough. This chapter is about this. Its title is "No One's Crazy." So its main idea is the author want to tell us that everybody have different experience, different background, starting from different family background, different experience, different culture, and also financial literature. So there is no one that is crazy enough on how they spend their money. Maybe at some point we could not understand why there is someone that spend too much money for something. But if we could understand, if we could check maybe their background, their family background, their culture, we can somehow understand that everybody get their own different background on that makes that made them do some financial decision that may be different from us. So that's one of the key lessons from this book. And the other one is never enough. It is the art of feeling enough. I think it should be common sense, but we all need a constantly reminder for this one. So at some point we know that when should we feeling enough, because the author also said that feeling enough is also a luxury or expensive things, because yeah, you know what we are all did with our work or with our job is to get us wealthy or maybe enough, but we have to know the point that we should feel, oh, okay, I think I should feel enough at this point and should not chase it doing too hard for myself. Yeah, the feeling enough also the best key lesson from this book. And the other one is the room for error. It also relate. I can also relate so much for this chapter that the author remind us that the most important part of every plan is planning on your plan, not going according to plan. So we have to prepare a room for error. Also, we can call it a margin of safety, and that it is the only effective way to safely navigate in this inconsistent world. The author said that this world is governed by odds, not certainties, so we have to prepare for it. Yep, I think that are the best key lessons that I can take. Actually, there are several other great key lessons that you can take by reading this book. But I think that are three key lessons that I will share in this meeting. And I will answer the second question. Is there anything you don't like about the book? Maybe there are some chapters that the author could just merge it into one chapter. I mean, there's a little redundancy. Yep, so they repeated on several points, like the overwritten chapters that could be simplified or merged into one chapter for this. Actually, I'm not taking note for this one, but it's merely about the how we control our ego on spending our money. Yeah, that one is consistently how can I say berulang-ulang. The author write it in the loop. Yeah, something like that. That's just a minor thing that I don't like in this book. And my rating out of 5 star is once again it's 4.5 for me. And yeah, I suggest that if you haven't read, okay, actually this book is really recommended for you that haven't read any financial management book. But if you have ever read an other books, so you may choose to not read it, or you can just read the review first, so you can see the difference from the book that you have read before. And yeah, that's my question for three question. That's my answer for the question. And for the point fours, any question from the audience? Okay, it's your turn to ask me if there's any question.
Thank you. So before I ask my question, is there any questions from Khalid or India or Jerry? Jerry, did you want to say something? Oh, cannot hear you.
Cannot hear you, Jerry.
That's why I saw his lips moving.
Yeah.
Jerry, can I go first then? Well, you fix the audio. Okay. So, Perindra, thank you for your explanation. Did
Mhm.
the book mention why some people unwise decision about finance? Like when you said earlier, there are people who spend too much money, blah, blah, blah. But
Mhm.
is there
Yeah.
any explanation from the book about that?
On why you mean on why people spending?
Like illogical amount of money that people make decision spending too much, right? Is there any psychological aspect to it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the aspect the author said is merely it's because okay, it's explained on one of the chapter which title is A Man in the Car Paradox. So the author analogically explained that a man who bought a sports car, super expensive car, maybe they still feel that they looks cool, and the other will admire him so much, and he will get respect from the other people around him. But actually, the only one that is feeling impressed, and also that is that is feeling impressed about this supercar is no one but himself, but no one but the owner himself, because the other people that is looks like admire the sport cars, they actually somehow imagine that he is the one who will be inside the sports car. So he's not admiring the owner, but he's admiring the car, and also imagining if how if I could drive the car. Yeah, the author said that he interviewed a valet park. Yeah, he told that he said that driving a sports car feels really good, but when I saw there was a man driving a sports car, and yeah, that's nothing special because he himself have already tried several expensive cars. Yeah. Yeah, actually, one of the reason is we want to impress people, maybe, but turns out that the only one that is admired so much about the one that we bought is no one but ourselves. Yeah, that's one of the reason that the author mentioned.
Wow, that's a good perspective. Thank you. You know,
Yep.
I asked because a few weeks ago, my friend, two of them, my friend,
Mhm.
bought really expensive bags, 35 million and 40 million.
What?
So I just borrowed their bags to take a photo. Wow, this is
Crazy.
like 3 motorbikes.
Three. Three. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why? I don't know. So that's
Hmm.
2 years. Dicicil 2 tahun.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Maybe they need to read psychology of money.
Yep, yep, of course.
So Jerry, have
Yes,
you
can
fixed
I?
your audio? There you go. Yes. Let's go.
Is it good now?
Yep, yep. We can hear you.
Yeah. So I found this book also very interesting, Ferindra. It is actually not advising us on financial. Rather, it is giving us stories that
Yeah.
lesson from past stories that we can take as our lesson in our financial life. But I just wonder how many books have you read on financial thing, and what are they? How many books about financial you have read, and can you mention uh, what ab- what are they? Yeah, just a reference for us as well.
Mhm. Okay, so honestly, this one is my first book
Oh,
that talking specifically about financial. Yeah.
all right. No worries, no worries. I
Yeah,
like the book
previously.
though.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Maybe you can compare with the book I read last couple months about Dan Ariely. The dollar and cents is also interesting read. Try
Uh,
reading that one.
can you type it in the chat or maybe share later in the group?
Yes, I will type it later.
Yeah.
That's all from me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Kak Jenny.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, Jerry's specialty is reading about finance.
Mm.
He likes book about finance.
Yeah. I of
The
knowledge about.
Richest Man in Babylon, then O'Reilly, Psychology of Money, Investing for Beginners, like all money, money, money is Jerry.
Yeah, that
Just for
richest
knowledge.
man
Just
from
for
Babylon.
knowledge. Yeah. Just for
Yes,
knowledge.
yes. Actually, supposed to be Jerry isi buku keuangan. Supposed to be that's supposed to be IG.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Look, wait. I have my mom calling me. So, any questions? Let's go, Kak Lydia and India.
Oh, my turn. I would like to ask one single question to Ferindra. So, in your perspective, what do you think about, so many marketplaces we have known right now today? We have, let's say, Lazada, Tokopedia, Shopee, AliExpress. Are they make us crazy shopper? Easily to click something, check out of our shopping list. Are they made us? Do they make us become a shopaholic? In your perspective, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Lydia. Yeah, yeah. This discussion uh, somehow relate to the books that I've read previously on my previous month. It's about the hidden DNA of four giant techs. Yeah, when I read about Amazon, the CEO Jeff Bezos, the vision is how to elaborate how to memanfaatkan, how can I say that, the human basic instinct to hunter and gather. So since our first human generation, we have a basic instinct, which is hunter and gather. So I think the marketplace also taking advantage from that, our instinct. So, and also by some smart algorithm behind, that they could knowing our preference based on our history, our maybe daily social media use, and also our accounts that we are following on the social media. Somehow the marketplace can get the permission, if we are allowed, to collect the data, to collect our preference, and just showing us the thing that at the first time we did not need it, but when we saw on the marketplace, like, it's cute, it's nice if I have them. It has a 50% off promo, yeah, something like that. So it made us somehow want to just click and check out later. I think it's not much different with the offline store. Maybe just different methodology, and since the technology has its own advantages to collect our preference data, so they just looks more advanced than the general offline store. But actually, the offline store also works that way. They show us similar things like discount promo, and also in several occasions like maybe Ramadan or Christmas, they showing the things that we at first time we might not need it, we didn't put it in our wish list, but when we go to the store, I think this looks cute if I have it in this Lebaran or in this Christmas, yeah, something like that. So they just playing with our subconscious mind that at the end of the day we just buy the stuff, check out, and waiting for the packet, something like that. And for this thing, I have some good advice on buying stuff online. If we are not sure if we will need it or not, at first we just put it on our uh, cart, on the
Yeah,
cart,
shopping cart.
yeah, shopping cart. And after a week, if we are not checking this out, so maybe we don't really need it at all, and we can just remove it from our shopping cart. Yeah, I get that advice from some friends.
But we will get reminders over and over again on our email.
Yeah, that also
Card, you left
how they
this.
play with with our minds.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's all, Khalid, yeah, that I can see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add something
Yes,
Oh
to
yeah,
sure.
sure.
explanations? Actually, the one that this is according to Dan Ariely, the book that I suggest to you. Actually, the one that makes us spend more is the method of payment, where
Easy.
the more easy you spend your money, then the more uncontrollable your spending will be. So this modern payment, if you notice, it's becoming easier and easier. For example, there is a technology that use drone to deliver your package. It is going to be one of many factors that it is going to rob money from your pockets. That's what Dan really said. So it is important when doing expense. Dan really said to always. Also, Farindra mentioned that if you don't need it, there is always a thinking involved in this kind of thing. So we should always be aware of what we are buying. What is the use of it? What is the advantage of buying it? So yeah, it must include awareness every time. So this is can prevent us from buying things uncontrollably. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I actually agree with that because when people remove the barrier, then you like to do it. If you don't need to reach to your pocket, count the money, and give it, You know, you feel the
Exactly.
pain
Yes.
Pain,
of
yes,
give
yes.
the money to the person is different. If
Mhm.
you pay with card or with the, you know, chit like that, we don't see the money being
We
given.
don't consider it as money. We don't consider it
Yeah,
as
we don't
money.
consider it as money.
Like going to gambling, people actually don't
I
use
don't play.
money.
I
They
don't play
they
gambling.
use the chip.
Oh,
They exchange their money with the chip,
Yeah.
and when they spending it, they don't realize it's money spent.
Yeah.
It's just cheap. It's just cheap anyway. They just
Yeah.
want to spend it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's another trick, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in what Farindra said as hype-driven shopping. What is that?
hype-driven shopping.
Yeah, actually, it's just a better language of FOMO, I think. So something like no, in our world now we have someone who claim themselves as influencer, yeah, someone like that, and anything that they share in their social media, and boom, and then everyone that is following his or following her already somehow interested on that thing. Yeah, something like that. And also it also
There's
works
psychology
on,
side of it,
yeah, I guess yeah.
or what was it?
Yeah, to work for a stocks market and also cryptocurrency. We heard someone like Elon Musk got that effect on market, something like that.
Okay. I'm also taking note of the book from you. So, is there anyone else have question? No one's? Okay, so thank you, Farindra, for sharing. Now let's
Thank you.
go to Jerry. I will copy and paste the questions again.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for the time. Although only there are 5 of us here, yeah, but let's make sure that we have a very productive discussions. So I would like to begin with the title of the book I read this month is Confidence, as I have been sharing in our Voicepal group. It is written by Thomas Camoro Premuzic. He is Argentinian, and if you are thinking about Argentinian people, there is a prototype about Argentinian that they are being very high confidence. They are all high confidence. And the author say probably I have enough of it, or probably I have more of that confidence. But and the author Thomas is actually the expert in personality. He knows about personality. He is expert in that, and he is also involved in HR, human resources. So apparently, he know more. He also know more about human resources things, because in this book he is mentioning about employer. He giving advice about interview, how to present in front of the interviewer, or how you increase your competence to being employed, to increase your employability. It's a little bit hard to say employability. So but the basic arguments that he brings in this book is that whether or not we need high confidence, or whether or not we need more high confidence than low confidence. So that is actually he was trying to convince to the readers about is high confidence is really necessary, or low confidence is not really a disadvantage at all. So, and then later on, the author will explain in this chapter to chapter how his explanation support his argument about this thing. So he said that the main idea of the high confidence versus low confidence is that high confidence is dangerous when you have no competence. So that is basically the what is his talk about. Also, this morning I heard Kak Pipit is very curious about this book. So what is actually the author is trying to inform us is that high confidence is not a problem as long as you have a competence. The problem is if you are high confidence and you lack of competence. It is and it is also the effect of that we tend to feel ourselves exaggerate melebih-lebihkan ya, to offer
Exaggerate.
exaggerate. If we trust ourselves to feel ourselves, we tend to exaggerate ourselves, and that's why the author say the feedback from others is always a valid point, that rather than us viewing ourselves, right? And then so the author is giving a lot of terms in this related to high confidence, like delusional high confidence, sometimes that you feel really confidence, like to the point that it is just delusional, you don't have competence at all. And then when he's mentioning about low confidence actually is an advantage for you if you have a low confidence, in the case that it is your trigger for you to do a preparations. Most case, people with low confidence is sometimes because they don't have competence that is needed. So, for example, if you go here, the author's giving example when he was asked to do a presentation of topic that he didn't know, or he didn't really know about. He feel really low confidence because he didn't know about the topic. But then the low confidence forced him to do a preparations, and then that low confidence make him realize that he need to study more about the topic and do a preparations before presentations. So low confidence is actually a very best thing to use when as a tools to help us to enhance ourselves. So if you feel low confidence, then it means there is something that you need to improve in your life or in your skill. So that's basically the Thomas make argument about this in his book. And also I love the chapter 1 to 5 where he is presenting the very basic of the concept of what he's trying to inform to the readers. And then from the chapter 6 and so on, it's only some tips. For example, in dating confidence, how to be confident when dating, giving some sort of that. So that's what I can tell from this book as the answer for number 1. And number 2, is there anything you don't like about this book? There is for this book, I think the author, the concept that he's trying to explain is very simple, but he explained it very maybe I can say, for example, in chapter 5, he is quoting all part of it from Daniel Carnegie books, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So he's basically just retyping what's in the Daniel Carnegie book and put it in his book. So I think it's not necessary because it's It's not from his own thinking, or he's not doing the analytical and giving his own opinion, but rather just copying from the book and put it in the book. So that's one thing. And also the other thing that I don't really comfortable with this book is that because the discussion that he puts in this book is very subtle, like confidence is subtle. You cannot see like optimism, confidence, low confidence, and all kind of that is very, you need to really, I don't say I don't like it, but you, when you read this book, you really need to really think. You really need to read it again and again to understand. Yeah. So that's the
Is it
answer.
because the writer is not a native English speaker?
Uh, I think the English is really good, only because the terms, probably the terms that he used is really subtle, very very apa, banyak istilah-istilah yang very subtle, or
Complicated?
maybe I'm new to that terms, that's why I don't.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it complicated?
not really complicated, but I just we just
Jargon. Has many jargon.
yeah, I think it's jargon. When you put that jargon into like more than one jargon into sentence, you need to really think about it and to figure out what is the meaning of the sentence. So what's your rating about of this book? The question number 3, what's your rating about this book is, yeah, I would give it 3, because I would think there is I will find a similar book about the topic, the similar book. Maybe there is better books that will discuss about this topic, confidence. But I, don't get me wrong, I love the perspective of the author here, because it's really something fresh. Like I mentioned in the voice notes, that I was surprised he is very much into low confidence rather than high confidence, because our society now, it tend to be uh, very pro to high confidence rather than low confidence. Very pro to high confidence. But yeah, this good book is really good for reference, and I really love to probably read more of his book, Thomas, just to make sure is there any something new that he is discussing. And number 4, any question from the audience? Kak Pipit must
Yes,
have a lot of
I
questions.
do have a question.
Yeah.
First is it possible for someone who has the competence but has low confidence at the same time?
Yes, that's a very good question, Kak. Uh, the author say the good confidence is, the very best confidence is the confidence that comes from the competence. So most likely, if you are confident in something, your confidence will rise automatically. Uh, and it is better to put competence first before confidence, rather than confidence first then competence, because confidence can be really exceeding your competence when you put it first. But when you put competence first, and then you don't have to work very hard to grow your confidence, because it is automatically will follow. Yeah. And that's what the author say in that book. And yeah, that's basically what is he saying.
So it's not possible for someone who has competence to have low confidence.
In contrary, the author suggests that if you really have competence, and in this case, if you have competence but you have low confidence, you have to work. In case the automation is not working, for example, you have competence but you are still very low confidence, the author encourage the reader to work and to show their competence, because there's no point when you have competence but people don't acknowledge that competence, so you need to show that competence. So that's also the very good part of this, because not only we have to be competent, but we have to to work that people will acknowledge that competence to our benefit, right? You know, in our society, people tend to, the funny things in our society that people tend to praise those who seems confident rather than those who are, who looks confident. They praise those who seems confident rather than those who really competent. That's because they focus on the visual thing, that the thing that they can see. Competence is not seen unless you prove it, unless you perform it, right? While confidence, you can do bluff, you can speak, you can bluff about what you know, and people in a count of minutes will assume that you are competent. But when it comes to performing, it's the different story, because you actually don't have the competence. So it is very important, when you have competence, you have to show it. And this book, it's giving us trick how to do such thing, to perform, or he mentioned like reputations, how to shape your reputations in the eyes of publics. So this is also what being discussed in this book. Yeah, that's it. Any other questions?
Yes, sorry, I was typing your answer just now.
Yeah, is it possible for someone who has the yeah, it's
Okay.
very possible. It's very possible.
Yes. For the guys, for of you who didn't know, I usually summarize the quotes or your answers, so I can learn, what is it called, maximum
Wow,
from your explanation.
that's
nice.
interesting, Kak.
Nice,
Wow.
nice.
I will share it if you want later.
Yeah.
But India will take photo also later. India was missed the opportunity earlier. Okay, thank you, Jerry. But is there any more questions about?
Is there any more questions about the book I'm reading?
What's the title again, Jerry? Confidence.
It's confidence.
Confidence. So confidence is the title.
Yeah,
Curiosity.
Kamoro Premusic.
Okay, just out of curiosity, can you thumbs up if you have high confidence, and do this, thumbs down if you have low confidence?
What if middle, like this can?
Middle, then everyone is middle. That's
No,
why
actually, I have
middle.
low confidence. I have actually low confidence.
Tendency. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
How can I say it? Okay.
That's like
Okay,
the same. That's what Farida do is this, basically.
No, I have
India,
I have
what's
the
your
reason. I have the
answer?
reason, Kak Pipit.
Oh, there you go. What's your reason?
Confidency is not a general thing for me, at least. So I have to know the context first. Confidence in what things? So maybe in some things I'm confident enough to share my opinions or share my perspective, but on the some other things I'm not confident enough to share that thing. So that's why.
The question is in general. Are you or not?
Okay, just take it. Hello.
Okay, 1. Again, 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Tendency. India doesn't. Okay, good. So I think it's good to have tendency to low confidence, right? Because Jay also mentioned in his voice note that if you are low confidence, the implication is you will prepare more.
Right.
Yes. Okay. I'm not confident. I have to prepare.
Right.
Yes, it's good to prepare than to improvise.
Yeah, that's right.
Any other question from the floor?
Halo, Kak Jerry.
Yes,
let's
Kak
go.
Indra.
Okay, so this still relate to Kak Pipit's question about the competence and confidence. So, have you ever heard the terms from the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Right.
This one I found this theory in the book that I also read last year called The Death of Expertise. So it means the Dunning-Kruger effects. In some, it says that the dumber you are, the more confident you are that you are not actually dumb. So Yeah.
It's a good quote.
Actually, the theory is quite long, but the author just summarized it that way. What do you think about it? Is it quite related with it
Very,
has some relation to the book that you've read?
yes, yes, very much related. I also found the Dunning-Kruger effect in ultra learning. I read past months. For you guys who haven't know about the Dunning-Kruger effect, is that inability to know your competence because of your delusional high confidence. So when someone gives you feedback, if you are high confidence, you would deny that feedback because you think that the feedback is not represent who you are, because you are viewing yourself as an expert, for example. So Dunning-Kruger effect is the condition when you fail to assess your competence because of your in this case in this book I read, because of your too high confidence. So that's very much related, Farindra. That's very much related. In fact, the author didn't say about the Dunning-Kruger effect, but when I compare it, it's very much related. Yeah, it's very much related.
So the author did not mention Dunning-Kruger.
Oh, did not mention
Even
about that.
even I found it somehow it's so related at the first
Yeah,
time
yeah.
I know it
It
from
is
you.
very related. Yeah, it
I
is very
think
related.
the writer should have put that because Daniel Kruger,
But actually,
Donna
yeah,
Kruger, right?
Oh, then
Donna
Dunning-Kruger,
Kruger,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Danny. Okay,
I can type it here. The
yeah, yeah.
Dunning
Yes, it's a
Dunning-Kruger.
famous experiment. I think from Stanford Uni.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Danny Kruger from Stanford University or
Dunning.
something. It was right.
Yeah,
People too ignorant to know that they don't know.
yeah.
So they call it unknown. Yes, it's called unknown. Means they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't. They don't know if they don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
So they thought they know.
there is an example in the ultra railing I read about the Dunning-Kruger effect, that the sample, everybody is riding a bike to school, and everybody is everybody admit that they know about bike until they are asked to draw the part of the bikes to form a bikes, and they all fail. No one, not single pitch, not single drawing reflects the apa namanya, the bikes. They all wrong, but they admit at the first that they they know what is bike look like. So that's it. They don't know that they don't know. Correct.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? No? Okay, let's go to Kak Lydia. Please share. I will repaste the question. Let's answer number 5 later together, yeah? Let's focus on number 1 and 4 first. Let's go. Kak Lydia, are you using handphone? Do you need help with the question?
Nope, I already
Oh,
write
great.
them all on
Yes,
my
yes.
notes. Okay, the first question, tell us about the book. So I'm reading Darren Fisher book. It is a novel, nonfiction. The title of the book is The Wives. So the reason, or the best keys lesson I got from this book, first of all, it feels like I'm mirroring myself, because this book mostly talk about a woman slash wife slash a career lady who carries responsible not only to pay her bills, but also relations with her, how do I call it, her colleagues, her spouse, yeah, her spouse. So that is why I choose this book, because it reflects myself as a woman slash uh, worker. And the best lesson I got from this book is like, yeah, mostly women, me, myself, we always cloud our judgmental because we hiding behind our emotional, not logical. So we think something, we mengutamakan emosi. We women, me myself, I sense it and I realize it very much that this is my weakness. When a woman, I saw in certain occasions, my boss, my previous boss, she was a strong lady, and she looks like a man, thinking like iron lady, if I may say. But in fact, she's a mother, a wife. But then men call her iron lady. But when it happens to a man, giving decisions out of emotion, they put their logic first, making this one, this and there. We men and women think that, oh, he's a representative leader, he's a great leader. But then when a woman stands out, men calls us women as iron lady, person without heart. So and the other reason, the other lesson I got from this book is, from this story, the spouse of this character, her name is Thursday. If I may say, she's lack of physical activity, so her spouse tackle her very easy, and that makes me, okay, us as a woman slash weak person, we need to take let's say 3 times a week physical exercise. Let's say, doing some brisk walk, grab a bike, or just simply take a swimming course, just to make your physical performance better. If a man attacks you and you know how to at least tackle him little down and run away. So the second question, is there anything I don't like from this book? Yeah, the plot twist at the end. Thursday was carried delusional, depression symptoms. She thought that she thought she has a husband, but actually the man that she called her husband was just an affair. This man was married 2 times, and after losing her unborn baby, she turns out to be lunatic woman. And third question, what's your rating? Okay, my rating out of 5, 4 out of 5, because of the plot twist. I don't like the ending. I thought she was a strong woman, carried this strong feeling, but then the writer changed the story. So next, the fourth question. Any question from the audience due to the
Yes, this
non-fiction?
book is listed as a thriller book.
Yeah.
So what is so like suspense about it? What's the type of suspense we can expect from this book?
The moment she found out that the other wives lives near, not so far away from her apartment, she tried to track them down one by one. And surprisingly, she got surprises from the first and the third wives. So that is the most thrilling part, because the spouse, a man she considered as her husband, came over and tackle her down and send her to mental hospital. That is the suspense thriller. the way how she get out from the mental hospital, because she was a nurse and she knows the drill. She knows how to manipulate correct questions from doctors and nurses. That is how the thrill suspense I got from this book. After she came out from the mental hospital, and then she tracked down the moment before she went to mental hospital. She tracked down the first wife. After she got out from the mental hospital, she tracked down the third wife. So that is the
Halo, Kak Lid.
okay. What happened?
Okay. Lost you just now.
Yeah,
Third
freeze.
wife. Then?
Any question probably from Mas Perindra or Mas Jerry?
Yeah.
What is the title? The title, Kak?
Wives.
The wives.
The wives.
Wives.
Katanya.
Plural.
Wives.
Plural.
Wives. Okay.
Guys, I invite you to check out the rating of this book. There are people who say, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, we never.
1 star.
I stopped myself reading comments or feedback from any other readers who finished this book, because I don't want to mix up my mind. I want to find out by myself. Then, okay, I hate this book because this book is not a happy ending. The plot twist makes me okay, enough.
But Kak, I think they call it the ex machina.
What is it?
Ex machina. Deus ex machina. This is also the title of a clothing brand. But when the plot is too complicated, right? The plot is too complicated, and suddenly the ending becomes so right?
Yeah.
Because the author didn't know how to end it correctly.
Yeah.
Like bengkel. What is bengkel?
What bengkel? What?
Oh, the ex machina.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's bengkel
from,
sepeda motor, but then become fashion brand. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, but the ex machina is when the plot is too complicated. Really, the ending is like what? Gitu loh, nggak masuk akal. So it's like
disappointed. Disappointed.
Anyone else have
from India probably?
From India. India belum loh tadi. Unmute.
Okay, I'll try to respond from Kak Lid's book. I guess if there's this jerks of machina of the ending of the book, what is Kak Lid think is the ideal ending, if there's any that Kak Lid wants about the ending of the
question.
book?
Yeah, I imagine myself that the character, the strong character, the morphine, the how do you call it? Strong woman, the character from the story ends up she finally announced to everyone, including to her spouse colleagues, that this man is jerk. This man carries 3 wives, and she easily jumped from one woman to another one in a split of second. She's successful in not only in love relationship but also at work, because she's a strong woman. She work the long hours. She made only few numbers of friends. Yeah, I in my imaginations, she carried at least much more rooms of friends, because she only has small numbers of friends in her workplace. And she successfully in love relationship, but then she ended up in mental hospital, because the doctor said that, okay, enough, you will hurt not only yourself but everyone in your surrounding. Mm. The writer is a woman, but why did she ended up like that? Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
she's a
Khalid means you
transgender.
want to more emancipation of for women also, that girl power, so that
Maybe
maybe
he got
could
intimidation.
encourage
Okay.
women, right?
Yeah, encourage women. Us. I don't know
Yeah.
because we are so many. I just finished storytelling Animal a month ago, and I just found out when there was alias, alias writer. They don't write down their they apa identitas asli ya. They don't put down the true identity in Goodreads. I think this the writer who writes the wives is a man. Yeah. Who
Oh,
doesn't
you mean
like
ghostwriter?
ghostwriter.
Good
So
point.
I think
No,
because writer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, continue. Kak.
Oh, please continue, Mas Jerry.
Oh, I probably I haven't read the book. I haven't touched any fiction books, but probably that's one of the strategy for the author to keep people hanging and make this book very interesting. Maybe the ending is not ideal, but maybe that's the best part of the book. That made people hanging.
It's not hanging. It's just completely shut down.
Oh, it's completely shut down.
Yeah,
Okay.
completely shut
Different
down.
story.
Disappointing. So
Oh,
sorry to burst your bubble, Khalid. The
Yeah.
answer is an actual woman,
Yeah.
not a transgender or a ghostwriter.
Oh my
This
God.
book is best-selling in New York Times. Yeah, since a lot of people review this. Yes.
Oh my God. She did it in purpose.
She's from South Africa. The
Oh.
writer. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, South African's supposed to be like Texanian, someone like, Texanian is a strong build and aggressive personality, Texanian, Californian, people from African, because in my workplace there are quite numbers of Africans, they they are not black, but they white, fairly white, but they call themselves Africans, and they work in the middle of the jungle. So Texanian, they call Texanian, African, Californian, they are aggressive people. And when you mentioned Kapipit, the writer comes from African, I think like South Africa. It feels like, oh my God, she should be carried a strong character for this book.
Like Charlize Theron is from South Africa, but she's white, right?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron. Yeah.
Charlize Theron, I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Now, before, can someone moderate? I need to go to the bathroom. So, is there any more questions for Kak Lydia?
Yeah, any more question? Oh, the last question. I haven't.
No. The last question we answer together, Kak. Nanti.
Okay.
Belum soalnya tadi.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, so I will give the floor to India to talk about her book.
Okay, Kak Pipit.
Yeah. Jerry, please moderate while I'm gone. Just 1 minute.
Okay. Will do. Okay, Kak Indah, floor is yours.
Yes.
Hello, Indah.
Okay, I'll try to talk about my book, the book that I've read on the month of May. It is called The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down by Heyman Sunim. It is actually more to a spiritual book. It's like the search within yourself, how you look into your inner self or so, as I can say it simply, nowadays, I guess, the world is revolving in its own pace. It's so quickly that the second we know about a thing, and the next second we know that there's another thing. It's like we know about this pandemic. This pandemic is so quickly, although it's only a year, but there's so many things that has happened. It's like we're living in a crazy world or so. So this book is telling us that actually you are the one who's holding the key to your own pace. You don't need to look at the other world. You don't need to look how the world revolves, but how you see your own self. That's how you see how you see yourself in a better version of you. So it's like you see yourself in a more spiritual way, in a calmer way. And also Hemin Sunim is a monk, so he's teaching about the inner peace, how we search about how we make peace with our own problem in our lives. As far as I know, from the book that I've read so far, actually spiritual books is never talk about the problems that we're having in life. It's like if you're having problem in life, you should just ignore it. Don't take serious about it. It's nothing that is so serious that it will affect your peace within or so. But in this book, Hemin Sunim talk about how we embrace the problems. It's like how you face it. This is the problem that you're dealing with. This is the problem that you're having. You don't need to it's like force yourself just to fight against it, but embrace it, make peace with it, make peace with the problems, and in the end you will find your own peace just by knowing that actually the problem is not so big as you consider in your mind. It's like just actually just a piece of cake, just a piece in your a piece of cake in your life that somehow you will make peace about it, and you will find the way to think about it or to solve about it. So it's more like making peace about it. This is I guess the how I said it, the biggest part that this book is different than the other book that I've read so far. And of course, as I've maybe I've already mentioned on my fourth trigger, that the best part of this book is talking about forgiveness. You can, as far as I know, sometimes it takes the strongest just only to forgive even a small amount of someone else's. But in this book, you have to you need to take a look around that actually forgiveness is a big deal within yourself. So if you carry hateness to other people, it makes you feeling bitter and bitter and bitter, and it could cause you any kind of diseases, just like maybe cancer or so. It's the heart is actually the window of your own self. That's why forgiveness and also finding peace with your own self is the, I guess, the biggest part of your own life. So and also Hemin Sunim is talk about the love in our lives, how people near us is surrounding us with the love can affect us to become the best version of ourselves, and also about the spirituality, and of course finding the true self of our own self. That's what I can get from this book that's different from the other one. I guess that's my question to the first question so far. And about the things that I don't like about these books, I guess actually it's more like this book is talking in so many quotes, the quotes that Hemin Sunim find within his own spiritual journey, but it is still lack of personal experiences that he has to find the quotes. So I think I need to get deeper meaning, deeper understanding of how he could think in that way, how he find the quotes. It's in more, I don't know. It's more like deeper way understanding his own thoughts. Maybe that's that. I guess that's the thing that I don't like about this book. And about the third question is, what's your rating out of 5 stars? I guess I'll give it 5 stars out of 5. 4 stars out of 5, since there's still I need a deeper meaning, deeper understanding about it. So I guess I'm craving for something deeper that I've maybe have wrote this book. And number 4, okay, any questions from the audience maybe?
Yes, I have a question. Actually, this book has been mentioned over and over again. I joined 5 book clubs, everybody read
Yes.
this book. I wonder whether I should read one myself. But does it have any impact on you? Like, did you feel like you become a better person after reading this book?
Yes, actually, it has, as I've told you before, that the journey of you, it's like you have to face your own self. It's like you first, you as the real you right now, the the things that you have within with the ideal type that Hemin Sunim told you about. So you could reach your better version of yourself. So it's like, maybe if I could just give an example, it's around the forgiveness thing. Just before, somehow I'm not the kind of person who's complaining outside. It is more me, if I'm not happy with something, it's me just keep it inside. It's like, okay, let's deal with my own self. But he told me that it is so wrong to do so, because actually if you're not complaining outside but you still keep it inside, it's also a hatred. So you still keep the bitterness inside you. It's like, no, that is not the right way. What is the right way is, if that person or the thing is not going to the things that you wanted, just let it be. That's the things that out of your control. So just do your own things, do your own best thing, do that the things that you could do to make any better things that you want, so that, but still you don't have to need you don't need to keep the bitterness inside, because as I said before, bitterness inside the heart is related to our physical body. Maybe if you carried so many bitterness through the years, it could get you maybe some kind of serious diseases or so. Who knows about it? Since what I've known so far, actually cancer is also cancer can be created just because of someone hatred something just inside his or her mind for years, and that could be one or two reasons to create cancer. Just that's I think the answer for me.
So it helps you to forgive better.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I wonder where Jerry is, because I have some more polling after this. Jerry, are you there? Okay, maybe it's bathroom. Okay, so can we show our hand? Are you easy to forgive?
Okay.
To forgive?
Okay.
Easy or difficult?
It's more like this.
You cannot do this.
No, it's not like this. It's in the middle of this
Okay.
between.
One,
I'm still on
two.
my own way. I'm still I'm better, I guess. I'm getting better of forgiving someone else or the things that is not going to my own path, but still I still hold something that is still within. So I need some more time to just forgive in better way, I guess.
Okay, but let's show it, yeah? Are you too easy to forgive or difficult to forgive? One,
Okay.
2, 3, go.
Easy to forgive for the sake of our healthiness.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right,
That
Khalid.
means I'm the only one who needs to learn.
For the sake of our healthiness.
Mental health,
Mental
physical
health, yeah,
health,
that's
and
true.
anything that is related to our health, I
Forgive
guess.
and forgive, but not forget.
Oh,
Okay,
Jerry is here. Jerry is here. Let's try. Jerry, can you hear us?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I got a call. Sorry.
Yes, okay. So we have a
was out.
polling just now. Are you
Yeah.
easy to forgive or difficult to forgive people? Okay, so let's show it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Jerry?
Jerry freezing.
It's not in the move, I guess.
Jerry, oh, easy. Oh my God, I'm the only one. I'm the minority. Good.
What?
Oh, it's
Kak
fine.
Pipit, what happened? Kak Pipit, what happened with you?
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't forget. It's difficult. Maybe I should write thriller then. It's hard for me to forgive, but I don't really think about it. It's just like I never forget.
Yeah,
Different
different
from what
Forgive,
story.
Kak
but
Lydia
not
said.
forget. Forgive, but
I
not
don't
forget.
forgive. I don't forget.
Oh.
But it doesn't bother me though. You get what-
Oh.
But you still
it
remember.
doesn't make
But
me.
you don't.
It
You
doesn't
don't
make
hold
me
the
depressed.
bitterness.
You just cross
Okay.
that list.
Yes, like when the person get the karma, sit. Oh,
Oh.
got you, man. I got you, girl, something like that. Then I do not feel the resentment. I do not feel depressed because of it. It doesn't affect me.
Mm.
Make me feel sad or something. Yeah.
You're shutting down yourself from, you know,
Distancing
Shutting-
your own self, yeah, maybe.
Shutting myself down.
It calls self-defense. Everyone carried their own self-defense.
Yeah,
For me, I forgive them for the sake of my healthiness, but then I never forget it. But
But-
for Kak Pipit, she
no matter.
no matter what, go
But-
away, go push them
Yeah.
away.
But it's
It's
strange
self-defense.
because the reason why people don't forgive is because it is disturbing them. But it's strange
doesn't
that
disturb
Kak
me.
Pipit don't forgive, but she's not disturbed by.
Yeah, maybe I should write a book. I don't forgive, but I'm fine.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
actually, no, forgiving is also kind of actually some form of bitterness. Actually, maybe you're just like keep it behind you, but you still have it in your thoughts, I guess.
That's you, India.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Because you said it just now. I still remember, but I don't know.
But you
I
don't
take it
remember.
Let
Yeah.
karma. Let karma.
Let karma.
Let
handle
karma.
it. Mm.
Let karma
But
takes over.
okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. But probably me, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe because people haven't do something that is really unforgivable, are forgiven. So I don't know. Maybe that's I'm afraid that I feel myself too kind. That one day if somebody hurt me to the level that it is really unforgivable, I don't know. I couldn't say. So the best thing I could do is to always prevent or never trusting. Maybe to prevent things, to prevent people from doing things that really unforgiven. So
How do you prevent people from doing things unforgivable?
like I don't trust them too much.
Oh.
So you
Like-
keep distancing yourself from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
something
people.
like that.
You keep
Maybe to
boundaries
just-
around you.
Betul. Because for example, if you don't want people to lie to you, you don't trust. Then you don't trust them. At the first place, to prevent the lie happen to you is you don't trust them. So maybe it's, I don't know, is it good or is it bad, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that self-defense, your own
Self-defense.
self-defense.
Okay.
Yeah. So I cannot answer whether I'm easy to forgive to forgive, or it's not really. It depends on the case. I have to speak frankly, maybe.
Okay, which reminds me actually, Kak Lydia, yesterday I had a book club meeting as well. I read a very thin book about sexism and
the system.
sorry, this is related to Kak Lydia, but I forgot earlier.
Yeah.
They said about men and women are different in terms of, biologically, right? You said women have to work out so it will be stronger. Actually, a lot of data shows that when they say men are, but the data shows that more men are actually depressed compared to women. So
Yes,
it's not always true, depending on what type of strength. Men might be stronger physically, but mentally, the data of the list of depressed people, at least in the United States, more men are depressed than women. And when it comes to violence, the data shows that women actually, the bullies in school actually more female than male. Female in school tend to be, the number of bully in school, more women compared to men. So that's why it's not a set or a fixed concept between, men and women. If it's like physical, of course, yeah. Like the records in sports is different between men and women, all of this. but in terms of, mind and the tendency is different. Yeah, I just remember this. Sorry to projecting after India. Just before I forget again. Yes. Okay.
Speaking about women, the book about by Thomas Evidence
Mhm.
always praising women to be better leader than men.
Mm.
Yeah, he mentioned a lot. He mentioned a lot that we should. He is very pro woman. That if you check on his YouTube speech, he will always praise woman that to be is better leader than man because of
Okay.
I think it's apa ya, the women, they are more realistic sometimes. They have with
Okay.
yeah, just check his videos on YouTube. But it is contrary to men that tend to have more delusional high confidence. Women is more
Narcissistic.
yeah,
Narcissistic.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Men are narcissistic.
Men
You,
always
Ferindra and Jerry are narcissistic.
putting themselves ego
Yeah,
system.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They don't admit that they fail or they left behind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they show up in front of us women as
yeah,
we are the superior.
yeah,
In fact, you're not.
yeah.
Unknown the unknown. Yeah, unknown
Unknown,
the
unknown.
unknown.
Yeah, it's true. Ada Wikipedia-nya.
Right.
Thank you so much. So almost finished, but can I go to with my book then?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the book I'm reading is the Teenager's Biography of Leonardo da Vinci. Means teenagers mean this is supposed to be for young adults, right? The words are easy and the summary is really easy to understand, but it's not comprehensive. And then like the question, best lessons I got from it. Actually, I have a lot of lessons from it. For example, DNA is irrelevant when it comes to a person's success and talent. Da Vinci's mom was a slave of Middle East industry. And then the father was a rich guy, of course, right? And then if you think, okay, the rich guy is almost like a middle class pejabat, right? And the mom is a slave, son of the daughter of poor farmer, but it was a descendant of Middle Eastern slave. So probably people think, oh, he got his smart or intelligence from his father, right? But then as it turned out, he got 17 siblings, right? 12 from his father, 5 from his mom, but none of them were genius, only Leonardo da Vinci. So this shows that although your mom was a slave and your dad was a rich guy, it doesn't mean that you will be dumb, right? So Leonardo da Vinci was known to be one of the Renaissance men, so one of the most genius people we know, other than Albert Einstein. This one, and then the next thing is bad thing that happened to us can be the biggest blessing. So Leonardo da Vinci was born out of uh, illegally. So it was just his father raped his mom because the mom was a slave, right? So he had no right whatsoever. So Da Vinci was an illegitimate son. So of course it was the worst thing because you were born anak haram, right? But then because of this blessing, he did not have to follow his father's career path because that time in Italy, Florence, that time, whatever it is your job, it will follow what your father is. Your father will teach you how to do this one, and you will be the next generation. Particularly if you are the pejabat in this case, a lot of other siblings were taught to be pejabat as well. But because Leonardo was illegitimate, he was given freedom. You can pursue any career you like. So this was his blessing. Another blessing is that he did not go to school. His blessings his siblings went to school until university. But what happened to Leonardo, his father only taught him how to read and write. After that, he released him in the family library. So basically, he lived his whole childhood in the library. He could read whatever he liked. No teacher telling him to read, okay, read this one, read that one. He just chose whatever books he was interested in. So he taught himself mathematics, physics, Latin, anatomy, human anatomy, biology, all of this by himself. So this is the blessing, right? No one told him what to study, so he just followed his curiosity. But he also, well, the support of being in the rich families also helped his success, obviously. Because although he was illegitimate, he didn't need to worry about basic needs. He never had to work, right? Because the food is always there, clothing always there, the roof is over his head. He also had access to these books, right? If you're poor, you don't have access to these books. He also has access to a famous painter to be his teacher. So when he was 17, his father realized that, okay, Leonardo's talent is in painting. I will talk to that painter, I forgot his name, and then I will make him the apprentice. This is something that other people don't have access to because the father is famous. So that famous painter already that time said, yes, okay, he can be my student, work in my workshop, something like that. So this is the privilege that Leonardo has. Obviously, he had supporting father. But if you realize it, he grew up without his mom, right? His mom, he was just being nurtured until he was 2 years old after, being breastfed. After that, his father took him away and after almost decades later, then he would see his mom again. So for decades and decades, he never saw his mom. But then after he could afford his own house, then he tried to find his mom and ask her to live with him until she died. So because of that, a lot of his paintings were actually about women with a baby because he felt the absence of motherhood, absence of his mom during childhood. Coincidentally, a lot of the commission that came to him, pesanan, was about baby Jesus and Maria, right? So that's why people, when look at his painting, they feel touched by it, like terharu. Actually, he painted from his experience of missing his mom, grew up without his mom. So the painting become really beautiful and sensitive and all of this thing. So this is like a movie, get what I mean? So it seems like the whole thing's merged together to create Leonardo da Vinci. And then also in terms of society, the reason why someone can success is because there are alternative choices. For example, because he was illegitimate or haram, he did not get any warisan from his father, not even a dime. Okay, he had 12 siblings from the father and 5 from mom, right? Obviously from the one from mom, all poor, but 12 children from his father are legitimate. Only he was the only one not legitimate. So he didn't get anything from her father. But his uncle was really close to him, Francisco. So although he did not get a dime from his father, he got the money and land and all of the resources from the uncle, because the uncle never married, did not have children. So when he passed away, he gave all of the wealth to Leonardo da Vinci. So there's an alternative to this. Because of this wealth, Leonardo again did not have to work. He can just spend a lot of time painting and observing nature and doing all of these things, right? So it might be a good, a big factor as well. And also when he lost his job in Florence, he used to work for a rich man in Florence. He had an alternative. He ran away to France, right? At one time he ran away to France, to Paris, and then he became a famous painter of King Louis the 14th, right? If you imagine if there's no alternative of ruler he could go to, then he would never survive. Like if you remember, I don't know if you familiar with this, when you fail in China, there's no alternative, only one Caesar for the whole land, right? So if the Caesar said, "Go, I don't need you," the person basically will be erased from history because no other king can help, no other Caesar can help. So the dynamic of Europe is that there are always other alternatives. If French doesn't work, you can go to Denmark, they have a king of Denmark. You can go to Austria, you have a king of Austria. So all of these alternatives, right? And then last but not least is about being a perfectionist is really a disease and you need a therapy. So Leonardo da Vinci suffered from being a perfectionist that made him unable to finish his work. So even the paintings that we see now by him, it was never a finished product. So we never know how the finished product will be. It took him a long time. For example, Mona Lisa, 10 years to paint it because before he paint the eyes, he would study about eyes first. Every millimeter of eyes, when his eyes closed, when eyes is looking blah, 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 he would spend 1 year just studying the eyes. And then 1 year studying the clothes. 1 year studying, so it took him a long time to finish everything because he was so perfectionist. So he demands too much of himself, nothing less than perfect. That's why it's such shame because he could have produced a lot more things, but his perfectionism was on the way, basically, right? Prevent him from doing that. Yes, okay, so that was the best key lesson. And what I don't like about the book is there are so many repetitions, right? It seems like being reminded over and over again about the same thing. So this is what I don't like, repetitions. The rating is 4 out of 5. And that is what I can share from this book. Any questions from the audience?
That's interesting book. I think I have it reminds me of Malcolm Gladwell books. Apa namanya? Outliers.
Mhm.
So what Malcolm Gladwell mentioned in his book about the factor of success is the internal factors, and the second one is the external factors. Malcolm is focusing on external factors, like if I have to relate this to the story of Leonardo Da Vinci, when Kak Pipit mentioned it in the voice notes, that his father was a rich family. I was curious because I was assuming that his famous work has any relations with his father's of family, because for example, if you are from a rich family and you do, for example, nowadays, let's imagine nowadays, if you have money, you can make quote unquote piece of shit things and make it viral, something like that. But in this case, it's different with Leonardo da Vinci because he himself is a perfectionist. So it is also tell us that he is not taking advantage from the the rich family, but also there is an effect, but he is not taking advantage from it. The perfectionist actually, I think it is the drive for him to learn without even going to school. Yeah, so it is very interesting, and it is very related to any success stories that I always heard, from zero to hero, something like that, ya kak ya. But this is actually answer my question in the voice note yesterday, that is there is the rich family is it impacting to his career as an artist? And from your presentation, I can answer, yeah, it is.
It does.
It,
Yes,
yeah, it
totally
does
does.
affect. Yeah,
First of all, he did not have to work. If you
yeah,
poor in Middle Age Italy, you have to work in the field.
yeah.
Did not. He had freedom. He can go to nature, painting,
Right. And library.
great.
Only rich people
Books.
can access library during
Yeah,
that time, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
And he
it's
spent,
really
but then
advantage.
remember, but he also had a choice. He also had a choice not to read anything.
Okay. Yes.
No, he had library because the drive must come from himself.
Right.
He can choose to go hunting all day long because
Right.
it was popular at that time too. But he chose
Mm.
to stay in the library all throughout his childhood for almost 17 years. And then after that, finding out, okay, I have a talent. I love painting. But I think the most precious access that he got from his family is the apprenticeship.
Yeah, apprentice lah. Apa namanya?
Yeah,
Training.
apprenticeship.
Yeah, apprenticeship.
Training.
If his father is not famous, there's no way this famous painter
Exactly. That's
could
it.
take
Yeah.
him as apprentice, right? But
And
He
also,
got
yeah, right.
yeah, yeah.
It
But
is
of course,
also
Leonardo
interesting
also
to,
has skills. Of course,
yeah,
he
to
has
research.
skills. Yeah.
Like he has a choice, but I'm very much sure that the environment during that time is also number one factor. For example, if you live among your friends who have mother and father, while you are alone, have no mother, then it is the personal drive for you to. If you see other people can perform, like, and also painting, it is interesting to know where he got the idea of painting. Maybe he lives among the friends who love painting, probably during that time.
No, that time he said he was obviously alone because his
Oh,
father is actually very busy. He came to his uncle farm a lot. So in this farm, suddenly he likes to observe nature and this painting natural.
I see. Right, and then
He
he
got
ends.
lucky because a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know their talent.
Very
Talent is
interesting.
like natural resources, they said.
Yeah.
Dig
Yeah.
really deep to find out our talent. So if we find out our talent, we're lucky.
Was it he was the only painters in France that time?
Oh no, oh yeah, that's actually another point I forgot to include. So there are so many people who who paved the way for him. In the middle of Renaissance, many of the world's best known artists rose to fame in the years before Leonardo, and their efforts made Leonardo's own success possible. Yes, it's
Right.
during Renaissance, a lot of painters, sculptures, Michelangelo, all of this, Dante, Giotto, Alberti, all of these famous painters already paved the way for him.
Okay.
So yeah, that's another factor.
Interesting. What makes him very famous is because of the Mona Lisa thing, right?
Yes, but also, he was famous because a lot of the Vatican's paintings came from him. I said earlier, Madonna of the Rock is, I think because, Christian is a dominant religion, yeah. It's in Europe, and we are a bit Eurocentric here.
Right.
Right? The history is written in Europe. So he became like the icon of the Renaissance, I think. When I was in UK, it was 500 years of Leonardo da Vinci's death. It was celebrated 1 year
Mm.
No other, even a scientist did not get that kind of special treatment, but he got it. And of course, people think that he was the secret to the Jesus. A lot of of Templar, all of these things.
Right, right.
I
And
saw the movie.
It is
subject
really
of
interesting to find
The
out
movie.
why he was the only painter that he was chosen and favorite during the.
because maybe his work touched a lot of people, like the one I said, mom and the Jesus when baby and with this Maria.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think
So probably because of his work as well. Yeah,
yeah,
he performed a better work. So
it's not nepotism. So obviously
yeah.
nepotism. It's not because his father was rich and then his painting become popular. No.
Uh, and his painting as well is very high quality than others
Mhm.
because of the perfectionist. And then but the bad part is that they don't finish. He don't finish. Most of his work is don't finish because of
If you
perfectionism.
realize it, Mona Lisa doesn't even have eyebrows because he
Yeah.
learned about eyebrows yet. When he was the Pope was angry at him because I've been waiting for this painting for 10 years. I'm about to die. Can you please?
Bro.
So yeah, and then ada a sculpture pesanan ya. And then oh my god, this is so funny. A general pesan from Hungary ya, Hungary. General pesan he was riding a horse, a statue of himself riding a horse. After so many years, yang jadi apa?
What is it?
Kudanya doang.
Orangnya enggak.
Orangnya belum. Itu after several years, like cannot wait anymore. I will stop funding you. Akhirnya orangnya udah gak jadi deh.
The
Whatever.
curse.
I'll find
So
other
yeah,
person.
reminder to all of us the curse of perfectionism.
Yeah. I think he needed help.
Yeah.
Lucu
Iya.
banget. But, okay, can I see my statue? And going to his workshop, what, only the horse?
After many years.
After so many years, yes, it was so funny.
Or probably because he found out that it's pretty difficult to express when he was painting a mother and little boy on mother's lap. It feels real because yeah, she got mother. He was surrounded by familyhood, but when he have to sculpt a great leader, a leader or someone very special, he found that how he portrayed the face,
Yeah.
the body build. At that moment, people were afraid to tell the truth about your kings or your priest, the leader of church. And he found it is difficult to put it in a paint. You have to put really correct eyes, measurement of wrinkles, nose, mouth, and else. And yeah, I think that is why he he takes quite long time, because he tried to figure it to how to precisely to put it in paintings, in sculpture. But when it came to painting mom and little boy, it feels like this is reality. I can found it in my mom's eyes. I can found it in my familyhood. But when it came to
General,
general, yeah,
no
no,
inspiration.
it takes wow, different lah. When nowadays when someone portray me as a president of United States, or president of chairman of a huge company, and you read about details about his hobby, her hobby, about her facial recognitions, how many plastic surgery they made, and pretty sure that any painter can make it. But at that moment at Renaissance, yeah, more common people were afraid to talk about their leader,
Hmm.
about even looking in the face, yeah,
The eyes.
looking in the eyes, unless you are blue blood, came from blue blood royalty family, and you can stare right in the eye of this leader, you know, priest of a church, king, or general of general. So probably it also made him very hard to put it the details
Sculpture,
on sculpture and paintings.
Yes, I actually agree, Kak Lid. Okay, so it's 2:04 now. Let's show our next book. But before that, okay, India di sini foto lagi sekali lagi, people.
Okay.
After that, we talk about our next book, just briefly. Everyone is using Kindle, makes me want to show mine.
This? Is it like this?
Ya,
Oh,
sebenarnya nggak
Yeah, wait,
kelihatan
wait.
sih, nggak apa-apa kok. Kindle-nya doang aja, nggak harus itu.
oh enggak.
Nah, maksudnya
Okay.
taruh aja di depan.
Hilang.
Yes.
Wait, Kak.
Jadi,
Ya hilang, ya hilang.
ya, nggak usah lose the background. Nggak usah background.
Okay.
Oh, I don't see it.
It's okay, don't need to show that
The
book.
cover.
Because sometimes it's not reflected anyway. Khalid, ready?
Okay, start.
Okay. 1, 2. Okay, let's start. Let's see. Okay, good. Now let's talk about our next book. Can we start with Ferindra?
Okay, for next books, actually I have two books in my current list. The first one is How to Avoid Climate Disaster by Bill Gates. And the second one, uh, the sorry, the Rich Man in Babylon. What's the title of this?
The
I
Richest
forgot.
Man in Babylon.
Yeah, The Richest Man is in Babylon.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
second one.
Thank you. Now let's go to Jerry. What is your next book, Jerry?
My next book will be, I think, calling bullshit. I think calling bullshit.
What is it about?
Like the title of the book is calling bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Is how to spot bullshit in our current. The basic idea is about in this current world, there are so many bullshit that's putting out by media, by people, and how to identify that. I read just a short story, but it is really interesting for me. So yeah,
Call it bullshit.
yeah, calling bullshit. I'll share
Call
it
it
in the
bullshit.
group later.
Okay. Khalid? Unmute.
This one, okay, this is much more like psychological stuff, and yeah, this is the book that I want to finish next month.
Okay, thank you. Now, how about India?
One, but maybe I'm still in an open up to maybe a biography or something, or maybe a psychological book.
Hello?
Or so, or
Okay.
yeah, or maybe by reading.
Putus-putus, India.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, putus-putus.
Okay, but have not decided, yeah. But it's more like the bidangnya aja. Okay, so for me, I've been reading In My Time by the memoir by Dick Cheney, the Vice President of United States, the one who started the Iraq war. Yeah, this is very controversial, but I haven't finished it because it's 650 pages. But I'm really lucky to read this because I learned a lot about how someone can be successful and identify it, because he went to jail. He was so low, not have a lot of money, but he became one of the very rich person as well. So I will hopefully, I need 150 pages left. So hopefully next month I will be able to share it. Okay, so that is it. Our meeting today. Thank you for coming. So
Thank you, Kak Pipit. Thank you, everyone.
yes, so next month I hope other person can be the moderator. Okay.
Yes, yes. We should
See you
schedule that.
next month. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.